What if I told you everything you believed about growing old gracefully is wrong? That society has been lying to you about this stage of life? Younger people talk about midlife crisis. Doctors warn about limitations. And the media sells the idea that after 60, you should just wait. Wait for what? The end? But I'm here to reveal a truth no one dares to say. Your 60s, 70s, 80s can be and should be the most powerful chapter of your life. Yes, you heard that right. While the world tries to convince you your time has passed, God still has a purpose for you. And the proof lies in the 9 things you stop doing after this age. Things that, ironically, were exactly what held you back from truly living. Have you ever wondered why Solomon, at the peak of his wisdom, wrote that gray hair is a crown of glory? It's not just poetry. It's a sign that you are finally free. Free from that desperate need to please others. Free from the anxiety that consumed your nights. Free from pretending to be someone you're not. And the most incredible part? This freedom doesn't come from a self-help book. It comes from something far deeper. The permission you finally give yourself to be who you've always been. But listen closely. This isn't some fairy tale for seniors. It's a wake-up call. Because after 60, there are 2 paths. You can accept the lie that your life is over. Or you can discover the secret that makes this phase the boldest, most courageous, and most fulfilling of all. And guess what? That secret is hidden in the very things you let go of at this age. Want to know what they are? Then pay attention, because what comes next isn't just a list, it's a map for a silent revolution happening inside you. A revolution that, if you allow it, will transform these years the world calls decline into your greatest triumph. Remember when you'd spend 30 minutes in front of the mirror, changing outfits 3 times before leaving, just to avoid comments? When you put off dreams because, what would the neighbors think? Well, I've discovered something revolutionary. After 60, a silent miracle happens. That weight we carried for decades, the desperate hunger for approval, simply melts away like snow in the sun. It wasn't one specific day, but a sacred process of liberation. You begin to realize those critical voices in your head were never yours. They were echoes of others' expectations that you mistook for truth. How many opportunities did you miss out of fear of judgment? How many genuine laughs did you suppress? How many talents did you hide, just to fit into narrow molds of what others deemed acceptable? The prophet Jeremiah warned, "Cursed is the one who trusts in man." And the irony? It takes a lifetime to realize that trying to please everyone is like chasing the wind, exhausting and pointless. But when that understanding finally comes, oh, what sweet relief. Today, you wear comfortable clothes without guilt. You say no when needed. You speak opinions you once swallowed. And the most beautiful paradox? The less you seek approval, the more respect you receive. People start seeking you out precisely because of your radiant authenticity. It's not arrogance. It's the serenity of someone who finally understands their intrinsic worth. As the psalmist said, "What is the approval of man worth when I already have my Creator's?" This is the first and most liberating of the 9 transformations. You stop being a prisoner and become a beacon. There was a time when you swallowed daily insults in the name of peace. You smiled at toxic relatives, listened to advice that was poison in disguise, and carried relationships on your shoulders that only gave you stones when you asked for bread. But something changed. After 60, you develop an infallible radar for negative energy, and more importantly, the divine courage to say, enough is enough. Jesus, the master of love, was never hostage to unhealthy relationships. He knew when to walk away and when to shake the dust off his feet. Why do we, who claim to follow him, insist on keeping people who drown us rather than lift us up? The wisdom of years has given you a precious gift, discernment to identify, and strength to prune. It's not lack of love, it's self-love in action. How many family gatherings did you attend out of obligation? How many toxic calls did you answer for fear of conflict? Today, your peace has become a priority. You protect your emotional garden like a treasure because you've understood life is too short to live with weeds. And the miracle? When you clear space, God brings new connections, people who water your soul rather than drain it. How many disappointments did you collect because you expected too much from people? You expected your spouse to read your mind, friends to never fail, family members to meet impossible ideals. But the years taught you a golden lesson. Every human being is a cracked clay pot, yourself included, and it's precisely through those cracks that God's light shines brightest. The Apostle Peter denied Jesus 3 times, yet was called the Rock. David, a man after God's own heart, committed adultery and murder. What does this reveal? That divine grace operates despite our failures. When you stopped demanding perfection from others, you discovered a new way to love, with eyes of mercy, the same mercy you so desperately need yourself. Today, you laugh when your grandson spills juice instead of getting angry. You forgive a friend's forgetfulness without resentment. You've understood that relationships aren't contracts with rigid clauses, but gardens that bloom when watered with acceptance. And the secret? The more you release others from the yoke of your expectations, the closer they come, and the lighter your soul becomes. Remember when your life was ruled by endless lists? Buying the dream house, getting that promotion, securing the perfect future for your children. How many sleepless nights? How many tears shed over goals that, today, you realize were more about impressing others than your true happiness? The great revelation that comes after 60 is both terrifying and liberating. You spent decades climbing mountains you never really wanted to conquer. King Solomon, after amassing more wealth and wisdom than any man, reached the most surprising conclusion. Everything is meaningless. Not that effort is vain, but that every goal not born from God's heart is like chasing the wind. Today, you finally understand this in practice. Your goals have transformed into simple yet profound things. Waking up grateful for another day, reading a good book without guilt, sitting on a park bench to chat with an old friend. The miracle? When you stopped pursuing empty achievements, you discovered true prosperity was always in life's small daily blessings. That coffee shared with your granddaughter is worth more than all the trophies of the past. Prayer offered without hurry nourishes the soul more than any applause. You've discovered the secret the young don't yet understand. The holiest goals aren't in the future. They're in the present, hidden in the simplest gestures, waiting only for your attentive gaze to reveal themselves. And this, perhaps, is the sweetest liberation of all. There was a time when your worth was measured by how many tasks fit into a single day. You ran from commitment to commitment, proud of your packed schedule, as if movement meant purpose. But the years taught you the difference between being busy and being alive. Today, you understand what Jesus meant when he said, "Mary has chosen what is better." How many times were you physically present but mentally absent? How many sacred moments did you lose because you were too busy? The wisdom of gray hair brought discernment that not all that glitters is gold, and that many activities are just gilded distractions. You've discovered the revolutionary power of being still, of sitting in the garden watching birds, of hearing a story for the 3rd time, because now you understand the value is in the sharing, not the novelty. It's not laziness, it's priority. When you stopped running, you discovered God always speaks in whispers, not noise, that the answers you frantically sought were always available, but required stillness to be heard. The greatest paradox? The less you fill yourself with tasks, the more you fill yourself with meaning. How many battles did you fight that, in hindsight, were completely unnecessary? Dinner table arguments about politics, heated debates over soccer, endless arguments to prove you were right. We spend so much energy trying to win discussions, and so little cultivating relationships. The Apostle Paul advised, "If it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone." After 60, you finally understood the depth of this wisdom. Not that you've stopped having opinions or convictions. You've simply discovered that being right is far less important than being at peace. Today, you choose your battles with the wisdom of someone who knows time is treasure. You smile when someone tries to provoke you with empty controversies. You prefer Solomon's wise silence to the fool's noisy folly. And the most beautiful part? When you stop fighting over trifles, energy remains for what truly matters. To love, to serve, to build bridges rather than walls. How many times have you tormented yourself trying to reach an impossible ideal? Remember when a burnt dish at family lunch was cause for shame? When every wrinkle in the mirror felt like failure? The great revelation that comes with years is painful yet liberating. You spent decades fighting against your own humanity. But here's the miracle only maturity reveals. God never asked for perfection, only authenticity. The psalmist declared, "You knit me together in my mother's womb," including all your supposed flaws. Today, you look at your time-worn hands and see stories, not defects. Your home is no magazine showcase but a sanctuary of memories, with furniture scratched by generations and faded photographs full of love. You've discovered what the young don't yet understand, that life doesn't happen in photo edits, but in messy, real moments. When you stopped trying to be perfect, you finally became complete. As Paul understood, "My power is made perfect in weakness." Your scars are now medals. Your limitations have become teachers. And every gray hair is a strand of hard-won wisdom. This is the divine alchemy that turns the lead of self-criticism into the gold of self-acceptance. Why do we spend our lives trying to control the uncontrollable? How many meticulous plans did you make that life simply crossed out and rewrote? Remember the anxiety that consumed your nights, imagining catastrophic scenarios that never happen? The wisdom of years has brought you the most liberating epiphany. The future never belonged to you. It was always divine territory. Jesus was clear. Do not worry about tomorrow, not as an invitation to irresponsibility, but as a reminder that anxiety is subtle arrogance, as if worrying could actually change anything. Today, you wake up thanking God for the new day without demanding to see its end. You've learned the difference between prudence, wise, and analysis paralysis, useless. Like Abraham who left without knowing where he was going, you've discovered practical faith that walks even in fog. The children are raised, the bills paid, life's storms survived, and you're still here. This has taught you the most precious secret. God has never made a mistake with any of your tomorrows, even when they arrive differently than you planned. Your only real task is to live this day with presence and gratitude. After all, the future is an illusion. Only the sacred now exists, and it's here that the eternal dwells. This is the final and deepest liberation, resting in the Father's arms, knowing every tomorrow is already in His hands. So tell me, do you recognize yourself in this journey? Each thing we leave behind isn't loss, but victory, the triumph of trading illusion's weight for wisdom's lightness. These abandonments aren't signs of surrender, but liberation. If this message touched your heart, leave your amen in the comments and share it with someone who needs this truth. Don't forget to like. Each thumbs up helps spread this message to more people in life's springtime. And if you're not subscribed yet, join our community, because the best season of life deserves to be lived with all the beauty and purpose God prepared. Until next time, when we'll uncover more secrets of this blessed journey together, God bless you.